Hi, Epiphany. Happy Tuesday. We're in the Great Discourse, right? Mission critical. What did I say yesterday? This is about abandonment and feeling abandoned by God. And Jesus over and over again is repeating how we're never abandoned by God. He gives us all sorts of great examples. But he starts off by saying, if you feel abandoned, wash somebody's feet. Do what I do. Right? I know you're divine, he's saying. I know you're extraordinary. You might not feel that. You might not be able to feel like you can do the things that you've seen me do with these 7 extraordinary miracles, healing the blind people and turning water into wine and raising somebody from the dead and helping cripples walk. You might not be able to feel you can do those things, but what you're doing are extraordinary things in the world. But let me give you something simple. Simple. If you feel out of touch with God, serve somebody. You and I both know that is actually a thing. Works. Anyway, let's read. Talks about, we went sort of up through verse 10. One who bathes does not need to wash except for the feet, is entirely clean. You are clean, though not all of you. So he's saying, you were born good. Your hearts are open. I've seen that. Though you continue to walk in the world, you continue to step in the muck of sin, if you will. But one of you has given yourself completely over to selfishness, narcissism, and to evil. And that can happen. I think none of us ever want to believe that we can sort of travel a slope that is so slippery that pretty soon we are fundamentally dislocated from relationship with God's creation. That we're so self-centered and so narcissistic and so materialistic that we've actually given ourselves away. But Jesus says it can happen, and Judas is the one for whom it happens. Now, it is about the money he's given, yes, a little bit, though we know he gives that away later. But it's more about his idolatry to a particular view of the Messiah that Jesus wasn't living up to. So that his politics, if you will, became more important than what God was doing in the world. His view of history became more important than what was happening. He linked two things together that did not belong together, looking for a future that God was not pursuing. How often do we do that? Probably more than we think, I might add. Let's read on, verse 12. After Jesus had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. If I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor the messenger greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. I am not speaking of all of you. I know whom I have chosen, but it is to fulfill the scripture. The one who ate my bread has lifted heel against me. I tell you this now, before it occurs, so that when it does occur, you may believe that I am he. Very truly I tell you, whoever receives one whom I sent receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me." A couple of things going on in this pericope. First of all, Jesus says, model what I do. Right? I have chosen you, model what I do. And then he goes on to say, very truly, servant isn't greater than the master, messenger isn't greater than the one that sent them. They're not greater, but they're connected, right? The actions are connected, the message is connected, right? The ownership is connected between servant and master. The message is connected between messenger and the one who sent it. If you know these things, you are blessed. If you understand that you are connected to me, you are blessed. Connect yourself to me as a servant, as messenger, and you will receive the blessing of God. I am not speaking of all of you. I'm just speaking to the ones I've chosen. It makes it clear that Judas has carved out a different path, but he has chosen the ones that are hearing this message. You know who's hearing this message? You are. You are chosen by God. Now it is the thing that we like to do. Say, well, does that mean he didn't choose those guys, or he doesn't choose those guys? And I think that's a red herring. That is something that we use to distract ourselves. Forget it. The question that is important for you is that he has chosen you. You are chosen. I don't know about this guy or that guy, but I know I'm chosen, and I know you're chosen, because we've been given these words. And because we are chosen, I tell you, whoever receives the one I sent receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me. The unity of humanity through Jesus Christ is mission critical. And so what I'd like you to meditate on between today and tomorrow is your unity with God. That you are chosen, that God sent Jesus to you, and you have been sent into the world. So pray about that, right? Jesus is speaking to you, and you have heard, and you are chosen. Others are chosen as well. It's not for you and I to judge who they are. But pray on your particular blessedness. Know that I love you, and peace upon your souls.